continuing. So come and lie all the way down onto your back with your feet flat to the floor and your knees bent, just to help relax the lower back area. So let your hips settle in. You might even want to rest knees together or just have them pointing straight up. And today we're going to bring hands onto our bellies. So shoulders relax, back and down, resting heavily to the floor. Have a bit of a wriggle until comfortable here. Make sure your head and neck feel good. And we'll just start to bring attention to our breath. Just having that extra sense of touch, so feeling the breath beneath your palms and your fingertips, feeling the movement as your belly rises and falls every breath. And notice as the tension starts to dissolve, start by noticing what it is you're holding on to today. So whether that's any tightness around the back muscles, maybe you're gripping your inner thighs, maybe there's a bit of tightness across your chest or around the throat, neck. Maybe it's written on your face. So with each out breath, we'll let all those muscles begin to relax. In a sense of surrendering to the ground, completely allowing your weight to fall heavily into the ground. And really bringing our attention to our breath now, so feel the belly fill with the in-breath. Release the out-breath. And deepening now, as you breathe in, push your belly into your hands. So really let the belly swell. And releasing out, let the stomach draw back into your body. So we'll stay like this for a few breaths. Don't be afraid to make a sound when you breathe as well. Make it as slow as you like, as deep and full as you like. We'll just do one more of those really long, deep breaths in, and let it go. Let yourself settle again. And then we'll bring arms down the sides of our body. And just reposition the feet so that your knees can be a little separate, so that they're in line with your hips. There's a bit of a gap between the knees. Spread your toes and plant your heels into the ground. As you push the heels down, feel that little tilt of the pelvis, and then we'll keep moving with it, lifting the hips off the ground. They don't have to come very high, just floating off. And with your next out breath, we'll roll back down through the spine, laying each segment of the spine to the ground until finally the hips land. And again, pushing the heels into the ground, feel the tilt of the pelvis, slight tension in the glute muscles, breathing in as we lift, and with the out breath, rolling back down through the spine. Just do this a couple more times, so pushing down to rise, smooth breath in. Then release. And one more time, you might even go a bit slower. Pushing down, little squeeze of the glutes. Keep the neck relaxed. And release. Hips settle again, let the glute muscles relax. Float your arms a bit wider from your body and let the knees fall over to one side. Keep the feet touching the floor. And then roll knees over to the other side. So just going to move back and forth a few times. As you breathe in, bring knees through center, and as you breathe out, knees lower. So we always breathe out as the body contracts, so as the torso is in a contracted position. Just one more time to each side, breathe in and release out. And one more time. Okay, bringing knees up towards you, with the lower back flatten out into the ground, so the hips might shove a bit further away. One hand on each knee, and then just circle the knees away from you and close towards you, circling in one direction to start with. And then we'll reverse the direction, so moving in the opposite circle. And then just holding them in the neutral position, bring the knees a bit wider, big toes touch. Slide hands down as far as you can down your shins, maybe all the way to the ankles or still holding shins. Let the knees fall out wide, so you might get a bit of a stretch through inner thighs, right to the groin. Let shoulders widen and drop down towards the ground. And just stay here for a couple of breaths. Let's think about drawing the breath right down into the belly. Release it out. Stay for 2 more breaths. And eventually, when you're ready to move again, let's release the feet, tuck the knees in, and come and roll over and up to a seated position. Then to cross legs. So we shuffle here until you're sitting up nice and tall. Hands rest on knees, or maybe they're cupping your knees. And just close down eyes, or soften your eye gaze. And try and internalize your focus, so sense the alignment of your body. So notice if it feels like you're falling backwards. Then we try to align the ribcage above the pelvis, broadening across the chest, and lifting up through the crown of the head to lengthen the back of the neck. So we'll focus on the neck now. We're going to take 3 slow circles. So tipping the head over to one side, and then down, coming up the other side, and then lifting the chin, going around again 2 more times. You could do it at a different pace to me if you want. And then 1 more time around. So tipping down, up the side, and then chin lifts. When you come back to your starting point, let's reverse the direction. So 3 more circles. You can take it slower if you want to. I'm just going to do 3 to each side. Maybe make it as big as it feels good, even if that means it's a bit small today. And then eventually, when you're done, let's settle into a neutral position again. Bringing attention to the shoulders. So we'll lift shoulders up, back and down. Stepping up, back and down. So I might come forward first, forward, up, back and down. Again, it can be as big or as small as you like. And then let's reverse the circle. So we're coming forward, down, back and up. Feel a bit strange that way. And eventually settling just into neutral. You might even shake the shoulders a couple of times, set them fall into place. Okay, and then tipping chin down, cupping your knees, Let's pull the belly in towards the spine and round out. And then lift the chest, roll shoulders back and down, and push the belly forward. Looking up if you can. Rolling down, as big or as small as you like. Up. And we'll just do one more of these. And settle into a neutral position, still with your eyes closed or soft eye gaze. And let's find kind of neutral position again, so feeling centered, front to back, side to side. Just get a feeling of your center of gravity here. A little lift through the back of the head, up to the crown of the head, lengthening the back of the neck, light across shoulders. Alright, bringing the opposite hand to one knee, put the other hand behind, lift your chest and gently rotate. So try not to pull your knee with your hand, you just want to gently encourage your body to rotate, turning from the middle of the spine. And then sweep arms out wide, come around to the other side, so a hand to the knee. So we're not pushing hard, just gently revolving, even turn the head way around. Come to the first side again, so sweep arms around, arm over thigh or hand on knee. And one more time, take a breath in and breath out as we rotate. Okay, and release. Come and turn over onto hands and knees. Let's stretch out the legs first, so just kind of pedal them back, under, okay, and then set your knees under the hips, spread your hands. Let's do some cat-cow movements, poses. So we'll start by drawing the belly down, shoulders pull towards each other, or shoulder blades towards each other, eye gaze ahead of you, and then scoop belly in towards the spine, rounding out, arching through the back body. You can close your eyes if you want to. Just drawing the belly down. The collarbones feel wide. And then pushing against the ground as we round out. You can move at your own pace here. It might feel good to breathe in as you move through the cow pose phase. So we'll draw the belly down. And breathe out as we pull the belly in towards the spine. Keep going for a few more rounds. Take it as quick or slow as you like. But really try and feel the way your body moves into each pose. Really try and hold attention here. And eventually we'll make our way back into a neutral position where we're somewhere in between cat and cow. Just like when we were seated, there's a sense of lengthening and aligning from the hips to the pelvis, to the rib cage, across shoulders, into the crown of the head. And then we're going to curve through the side body as we take a look back towards the foot. And around to the other side. So we'll take a breath in as we lengthen forward and a breath out as we curve through the side body. So we're always breathing out with that contraction in the torso. Make it as big or small as you want. And eventually settle into neutral again. Let's relieve the wrists just by kind of shaking them out or taking some gentle circles, one way and the other. We're going to make our way up into downward facing dog. So when you're ready for it, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up high, plant your hands firmly into the ground. So spread fingers wide, your shoulder blades hug towards each other. Lengthen from shoulders to ears. So think about moving your shoulders away from your ears. Dipping your tailbone up high, you might start to get that strong stretch up through the backs of the legs. Okay, and then coming into a crouch where we move belly towards thighs, shift hips back, and then push into your feet. We're coming forward into a plank, so shoulders come over your wrists. And then lifting hips up and back into your crouch. Driving forward into your plank, keep the shoulders strong. Coming back, forward to your plank, and this time as we come back, we're going to move the feet up to your hands and into a forward fold. So set your feet under your hips so they're around about hip distance apart from each other. Bend knees as much as you want to, especially if you're feeling quite tight up the backs of the legs. We want to keep the back muscles relaxed, so that there's no strain in the lower back. So if you find that you're sort of hunching and curving through the lower spine, let's bend those knees and lay belly over your thighs. So there's no tension in the lower back. Relax the back of your neck. Really let the crown of the head feel heavy, like it's being drawn towards the ground. And arms are relaxed, you can hold on to forearms, elbows, whatever you like. Either staying still or sway from side to side. So if you're swaying, it might even feel good to straighten one leg and bend the other. A bit of a play with that. If you don't want to be hanging upside down, then you could rest on your thighs. Okay, and then let arms hang loose. Now before we rise, I want you to think about moving from the belly. So hug your navel in towards your spine, and then keep lifting the belly as we curl our way up through the spine, curling all the way up to standing. Take as long as you want to. And eventually when you're upright, let the shoulders fall back, float arms up. Hands touch and come down to your center. Just take a moment here, just reset everything, kind of realign, forward, back, side to side. Okay, and then sweep arms up. A little bit different to usual. You're going to pull the arms in towards you and soften knees and curl down through the spine. So instead of diving like you usually do, we're just going to kind of reverse the movement. Curl our way down. Hanging out at the bottom. Bring in some movement if you want to. And then lifting from the belly, we'll curl our way up. Just getting the way that everything aligns from hips to ribs, to shoulders, to the head. You might even want to really stretch up tall here if it feels good. Bring hands to center. Just kind of focus attention here. And then reach arms up. Kind of curl that into yourself, so we start to kind of melt our way down, softening knees as we go, let the spine round, let the shoulders hang. Releasing back down to our fold. We're just going to do that whole thing one more time. So before we move, focus on the navel. So feel the belly pulling in towards the spine. Keep moving with that lifted feeling as we lift the belly. Going all the way up, or you can take it a bit slower if you want. Once you're upright, sweep arms high. Really stretch up here if it feels good. Hands to center. Just pause for a moment, almost like we're hovering kind of suspended in a neutral position. And then reversing out, so arms reach up. And then pull arms in, everything kind of flows in on itself, curling down. And into your forward fold. Okay, let's step the right foot a long way back into a lunge. Arms sweep high, so you can always come up to your thigh if you need a little bit more support, and then reach arms up. If you feel really wobbly, bring your hand to your thigh. Whoa, that's me today. Okay, now really energize here, stretch your fingers up high, and then float hands down. Step both feet back into your down dog. Pushing hips up high, feel that strength coming around the shoulders. And then bend your knees for your crouch, moving belly towards thighs. Drive it down into your feet as we float forward. Come all the way forward till you feel the weight come into your hands and the feet actually feel quite light. Then push into hands to lift up and back. Come to your crouch, then step the right foot all the way up by your hands. So you can take a couple of steps if you need to. Push down into the front heel. Climb up to your thigh if you need, or just sweep arms up. Reach fingers all the way up, stretching arms, and then coming into your forward fold. And let's curl on up, just a little bit quicker this time, so we're a little bit more energized. Curling all the way up. Once you're upright, push arms high, and come all the way back down, so curling in on yourself. And this time we'll shoot the left leg back first. Into your strong lunge position. Make sure your feet are in the right place first, and then push into the front heel as we stretch up high. So really lifting out of the pose. Bring hands to the ground, step both feet back into your down dog. Bend knees, belly to thighs. Push into your toes as you come forward. Kind of hovering here. Then push into hands, back. Let's bring the left leg forward this time. Make sure it's far enough forward that you can be heavy in the heel. Reaching on up. So stretch up high. Hold for a breath. And then with your out breath, stepping in to your forward fold. So let's curl our way up. Stretching arms high, and come all the way back down. Just melt your way to your forward fold, loosening up, just keep it loose. Okay, your right leg back, sweep arms up, wind hands and step back. Push hips back. Belly to thighs, floating forward. And you're coming back. Right foot steps through. Sweeping arms high. And this time we're going to fly. So shift your weight into the front leg. Lift the back leg off. Arms circle down and behind. Dive the chest. And fingertips to the ground. Step into your forward fold. Curling on up. A bit more energy this time. A bit quicker really. And down. Left leg back. Arms reach up. So just try and smooth everything out now. Plant hands down and step back. Okay, pushing off to come forward to our plank. Keep coming all the way forward, very nice. And back. Left leg, big step through. Sweeping arms up. This time we'll shift the weight into the front leg. Arms sweep down, just keep the arms nice and light. And then fingertips to the floor, step in to your forward fold. Just hold it right here. You might even hold on to your elbows. You want to sway from side to side, like a fish. How heavy can the crown of your head be? How loose can your shoulders be? Spread toes, send hips high. The same to really stretch up through the backs of the legs. Okay, and then scoot one leg under and going down to the floor. Sorry, to the seated position, I should say. Just bring the soles of the feet together. Hands come behind, shoulders pull back. Push your knees down and out. You can lift hips up if you want to, or you can stay seated, it's your choice. So try and lift through the belly and chest. Make sure your head is comfortable, your neck is comfortable. And then land the hips back down. Floating forward, holding shins or down to ankles. And just kind of keep the belly long, but draw your belly in towards your body. Lengthening the chest forward. Feel the length of the back of the neck. And just hold for a couple of breaths here. Okay, extending both legs out long in front of you. So you can either have your legs together or at this arch, or you might even have them just slightly wider, just depending what feels best for you today. And if you want to keep the knees bent a bit, that's always an option if you feel super tight, or you might try to lengthen them a bit more. Focus here is on sitting up nice and tall, and then starting to move your body forward. So you might even only really get to that 90-degree position, just depending on how tight you feel at the backs of the legs. It can also be a structural limitation in your body, so there's no need to force it, because what happens is you end up just curving through the spine anyway. You want to think about keeping the lower spine long, so lengthening down to the tailbone, hands either sides of your legs. And again, back with the neck nice and long, so we're not bringing the head. We're not pushing the chin forward, sense of lengthening through the crown of the head. Easy breaths here. Just for a couple more breaths. Notice where you're feeling really tight in your body and tension is in this moment. Bring a little softness and ease to that part of your body. And then coming back up, then you'll stretch hips down and light all the way back. Plant your feet to the floor, spread toes. Let the heels feel heavy to the floor, arms down the sides of your body. And you want to keep the knees around about hip distance apart so they don't fall out and they don't drop in. And as you push down into your heels, lift the hips off. Keep the throat relaxed. So notice if you're tensing up around the neck. And roll back down. And if you want to bring in the arms, open up the sides of your body as we lift the hips off and reach them overhead. Reversing the move, lean down the sides of your body as we slowly press the lower back into the ground and land. Rising again, with the option of bringing arms overhead to the ground above you, and rolling back down. Let's just do a couple more in your own time, so just at your own pace. And eventually, when you've done your last one, just let your hips settle again, relaxing the glute muscles, floating arms to your sides, let knees fall over to one side. Let's stay here a little longer this time, knees across. And then over to the other side, just take your time getting there. The knees spill over. One more time on each side, so rolling these across. Take a breath in and a breath out as we lower. And to the other side. Coming back up to neutral position, just in your own time. Bring hands to thighs and sliding up to knees. Very gently hug knees in, try not to squeeze them really tight. Okay, and then we'll bring the right ankle over the thigh and press the knee out wide, keeping your ankles strong. And then gravity hold behind the other thigh, or if you find that brings too much strain into your upper body, just let the foot fall to the ground. So try and make sure that your head and shoulders are still resting on the ground. And even press your tailbone down towards the ground as well. So if the hips are lifting off, just push them back down. And then you can find your intensity by pulling the bottom thigh a bit closer towards you and driving your ankle against it. And the wide knee pushes further away if you're looking for a stronger stretch. Always make sure that your knee feels good, so any joints, make sure they're not strained. And everyone's going to feel this maybe a bit differently, but you might be getting a strong stretch around the outer hip on the right side. See how relaxed you can keep your upper body, so find the right balance between using effort and feeling ease. Now keeping your legs where they are, just close your thighs together, so we've got the right leg also over the top, and then grab hold of the knees and just gently hug them towards you. Or you might even try sliding hands further down the shins and just kind of wriggle until you feel a good stretch here. So you might even be flaring the feet out a bit wide, or you might not even need to go that far to feel a strong stretch. And let's release out really slowly and switch sides. So we're hooking the left ankle over the thigh, pushing the knee wide, and then a hold behind the other thigh. So we're hugging the thigh in towards us, ankle resists, and the wide knee tries to move further away from your body. Just find the right amount of tension to deepen your stretch. A little bit of resistance, but not so much that it feels like a struggle or strain. So we want to just check in with a few things. So your facial expression around the jaw and throat, making sure there's no tension there. Stay a little soft around the chest and belly. Keep the shoulders wide so they're not curving in. And try to anchor the back of the pelvis to the ground. Just another breath or two here. And then we'll close thighs together. Hug knees in towards you, or slide further down the legs. Maybe even bring feet a bit wider. So just kind of shuffle around until you find the best position that you can work with. Check in with your breath. Make sure that you're breathing with ease. And then we'll come out slowly, this time bringing big toes together and knees wide. Slide hands down your shins as far as you can reach, maybe all the way down to your ankles. Keeping the knees out wide and bring the feet a bit closer towards your body. Shoulders pull wide, shoulder blades hug down the back body. And focus attention on your breath again, so breathing all the way down into your belly. Let it feel full and spacious. If you want to come up to a happy baby, you can either stay where you are or follow me, grabbing hold of the soles of the feet, keeping those knees wide. Let's stack heels above. If the hips lift high off the ground, we want to be actively pushing the back of the hips towards the floor. Keep the belly soft, big full breaths. Find ease in your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, your face. Give your full attention to your breath. Feel the way it fills your belly. You can hold still if you want, or you could gently rock from side to side if you want to. Try not to lose focus of the breath. It's a good way to keep your mind focused, to stay present. Okay, and then releasing the feet, bring knees up towards you, bring them together, open arms out wide. We're just going to finish with a couple of twists, letting knees fall all the way over to one side. Let them rest there for a moment. Turn your head to any direction that feels natural to you. And we'll slowly make our way up through center. Want the breath coming in as we move through center and out as we lower. Take a moment to rest down here. And we'll just do one more to each side. With the in breath, let's pass through center. With the out breath, spill to the other side. You can stay a bit longer if you want, or you can follow me as we come over to the other side. Making our way back into a comfortable position to finish with. So that could be with your feet on the floor and knees resting together, hands on your belly. Or you could turn feet together and have your knees open, but only if it's truly a comfortable position for you. If it feels like a real effort, or if it feels like there's any strain or discomfort, then perhaps just bring your knees up again. So we've got hands on belly so we can feel the breath beneath palms and fingertips. and breathe naturally, but encourage your breath to move all the way down into your belly, smooth and slow and deep. So we're not forcing the breath to come in an unnatural way. Just try and let it come naturally. But how would it feel to move all the way down into the belly? Let it swell, let it rise. And feel it soften back down with each out breath. We've just got a couple more minutes here. Try to hold your attention by following your breath. How it feels from the inside as your body expands with each in-breath, softens down with each out-breath. How does it feel from the outside beneath your hands? The movement that arises. And anything else that you can sense, whether it's the movement of air around your nostrils or mouth, coolness and warmth, perhaps even the sound of your own breath. You might even also be able to sense the shift in feeling, what you actually notice in your body. So you might feel quite energized with your in-breath and feel more grounded and relaxed with the out-breath. Just a couple more breaths before we move out and come back into the day. So with your next in-breath, you may want to stretch your arms overhead on the ground above you. Fill your belly. And with the out-breath, stretch out one leg and then the other. And gently curl in small again, just let everything pull in towards your center, hugging knees up towards your chest. Find your way back up into a seated position. No hurry here, take as long as you need. And once you're there, just have a little bit of a wriggle and roll around and shuffle until you're comfortable. And find stillness, feeling the vertical alignment of your body. Lengthening up to the crown of the head, but also softening down, let the belly be soft, just as much tension as you need to hold yourself upright. And then with your next breath, sweep arms high. Hands touch, and with your out breath, return to your center, thumbs to your heart space. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me.